A jury spared the lives of the four men convicted of killing Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio. That decision coming this afternoon after less than 2 hours of deliberations. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi takes us inside the case.
This more than month-long trial wrapped up in this courtroom this morning with the defense attorneys making a final plea to the jury, asking them to spare the lives of these now convicted killers.
We, the jury, find Sean Gathright should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
One by one, relief washed over the faces of the men convicted of killing rapper Julio Foolio.
We, the jury, have unanimously found,
as the jury recommended, life in prison, not the death penalty.
He was born into violence and instability. What chance did he have?
During the week-long penalty phase, the defense attorneys called witnesses to prove mitigating factors like the mental health conditions, traumatic upbringings, and good behavior behind bars outweigh the aggravating factors in this case.
He not only has been taking these classes, he has been teaching some of these classes to other inmates. He serves as a mentor.
In the end, jurors sided with the defense, rejecting the death penalty for all four men. Still, after the verdict, State Attorney Susie Lopez pointed to the mandatory sentence and the fact that these men will never walk free.
These four men, while they were not sentenced to death, will spend the rest of their lives in the Florida State Prison, and we don't have parole. They will never leave the prison alive.
All four of these men will be back in court for sentencing on June 22nd. They face a mandatory life in prison without parole. Reporting in Tampa, Kristen Barbarisi, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles with your host, the socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul speaking. Now, a lot of folks have been talking about the case that's involving the tragic unaliving, the tragic murder of Mr. Julio Foolio, the up-and-coming rapper coming out of Jacksonville, Florida. When I actually just looked into the case, I actually heard about this passing a couple of weeks ago, but I knew it was definitely within gang violence, which is just definitely tragic and also very senseless. But the trial mainly concluded with there are 5 conspirators in this, 5 suspects. 4 of them definitely were the gunmen. All of them were definitely deemed guilty. All of them were convicted under the state of Florida in the court of law. And then you have the woman that was the 5th one that actually was assisting in that. She got found guilty, definitely regarding manslaughter. She's currently facing around 15 years in the Florida State Prison. And the rest of the guys are basically dealing with life. You know what I'm saying? This here is a very tragic situation. A senseless situation. Just because y'all some fucking rival gangs. You know what I mean? Trying to rep your set. Trying to outsmart your ops. Or whatever they've done, but so what they've done or what they've said on social media. Hear me out. What happened with Julio Foolio is definitely tragic. It's not to say that I have sympathy for the guy as well, because he was a part of that as well. He was part of the gang violence. So it's hard for me to have any sympathy for him in this situation, because he's part of that situation too. You know what I'm saying? I feel truly sorry. And I feel mortified for all of the family members of these folks that were involved in this mess. Okay? None of them deserve to witness what's been going on. They've been wishing to actually have all these guys definitely here for the rest of their lives. But all of them is definitely getting snatched. One of them's knowing their lives has been taken physically by a bunch of goofballs, and those goofballs' lives have been mainly stripped the moment they make the personal choice and the premeditated choice to try and go off and show somebody that's not self-defense just because their ego was bruised, okay? Because of their immaturity, now they gave their whole life away. Their life has literally died, spiritually, figuratively died, the moment that they gave their lives away to the state of Florida. All from that incident that's stemming in Tampa, Florida. Okay? And where do we go with this, ladies and gentlemen? It's just so frustrating, and it's just very, very senseless. I know a lot of people who are irate about the warden who basically want to use these co-conspirators, saying that you shouldn't get the death penalty or they shouldn't get the death penalty because we need more laborers up in our prisons regarding sweat equity.
Gathwright's age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration.
Sweat equity. And for those of you that don't even understand what sweat equity is, and I know y'all spook about it, is sweat equity is literally slavery. Simply slavery 101. Okay? Slavery is still legal in the United States Constitution when it involves public prisons, and you can literally look that up under the 13th Amendment. And you got wicked motherfuckers, okay, in prosecutorial offices that are yearning and leaning for black bodies to work for them so they can try and live their slave master antics, and they get a kick when they play the slave master up in their horses and they literally tire these prisoners out, proverbially those black prisoners out, to no end every single day, mainly pleading for the slave master to come in and actually literally kiss his ass, mainly for the rest of their lives. Now, the good news regarding this, because there's not as much prisoners now as they are literally 20, 30 years ago, because there's so much more opportunity to legally handle business and actually do money legally, that there's no need to do crime. But the folks that are doing crime now, and I'm not even going to have sympathy for like the 4 or even like the person that's passed away, and then like these 5 co-conspirators, their lives are gone. They're done. One of them will have an opportunity to actually try and revamp her life and definitely rehab her life and definitely actually rebuild her life going forward, as long as she serves her time and actually gets herself resolved. But the other 4, they're gone. They done for. Okay? They got caught in murder. Okay? I have no sympathy for none of these motherfuckers whatsoever. But I do want to give out a cold warning for those that want to just choose to live up in this gang lifestyle, the drug lifestyle, okay? Basically trying to rep your set, trying to get all this fast money that you mainly can. You got 2 outcomes for you if you choose to stay, okay? You got jail. You got prison. Okay? In and out if you stay. Up in like a 8x8 by 8 box, whatever it is. A very, very small box with basically like a bunk bed, mainly with a cellmate, with a toilet, and with a sink that may not be running well, and that can literally have you singing up the joint with all these other inmates because they may not be working well. You flush the toilet right in front of the same room. They get actually awakened. They get spooked, so they leave it the way it is, leaving the whole block mainly smelling. Okay? That's outcome number 1. And you got an hour of free sunlight. You know, you're getting told when to work. You're getting told when to wake up. You're getting told when to sleep. Okay? No freedom of choice whatsoever. Okay? And mind you, you got people and other rival folks that are people with literally loose screws, as well as other Fleece Johnsons that want to try and bone you up and literally try and come inside you, okay? Well, you got all these sick, demented motherfuckers that literally try and take you out over some bullshit with man these wardens. With that warden actually just be speaking his blunt mind, very explicit and very honest, based on what's going on towards one of that young men, okay? Based on actually what's been going on, these wardens, you know, these correctional officers that's up in there do not give a fuck about your safety. They don't care where you gonna live there or where you gonna die there. A few would, but many of them won't, okay? Because all they see is, oh, you did the time, you actually off somebody? Oh, nah, you like the man no more. Screw you, fuck you, goodbye. And the only way you're going to get out if you do life is when you're already dead and your body is actually transported out of the prison, okay? That's your outcome number one. Outcome number two is death. Literal death. On a 8x8 casket, very small, that literally fits your body size, with your body literally cold, buried 6 feet under. Okay? Those are your two fucking options literally right there. Okay? And what makes it worse, right? And I want to make it clear, all these guys that actually have they stuff in, that actually committed a crime, they lived their life of chaos, and they were mainly raised in chaos. I'm well aware about Sean Gilwright's situation. He was raised with 2 parents. However, the parents divorced, and they were claiming that the father was barely around. He was being very hostile. He was dealing with various traumas. When the mom allegedly was calling him and all these things, while not actually giving him like a brutal sense of reality based on the life that this gentleman chose. And mind you, he wasn't even in the hood. He was only just chilling with some friends, not even knowing if they're gangbangers or not. And even if they were gangbangers, y'all still choose to hang with them because that's all you know? Like, really? Really? So, I have no sympathy because that's the choice you made. That's the bed that you made. That's the grave that you dug. That's the med that you made. Now your ass is really going to lay it mainly in the first place. Okay? Now, I want to tell you youngins something, man. Is it really worth living that lifestyle? All right? Living that set lifestyle. Because your homies that going to bang with you, your homies that going to ride and die and literally fuck bitches with you, okay? You know, blowing up monster loads, okay? Sharing multiple hoes, okay? The moment that you get caught by law enforcement or get hemmed up by law enforcement with the corrupt DAs, with the judges that already are very biased and very jealous of your potential actually doing the right thing, right? They are very salty and narcissistic towards you. They're looking at it as like green dollar signs actually trying to filter you up into their slavery plantation system up in their public prisons because they're losing money. That's how sick-minded they are, okay? And now you giving it to them, right? You giving it to these guys, okay? You throw your life away for what? Them same guys that you mainly home with, and you get hemmed up and you get sentenced, okay? Or you fine for your life. More times than not, they're not going to be with you. The hoes that you with, the hoes that you fucking with, or the ride or die women that you with while you're doing that gangbang lifestyle, they're actually going to leave you alone. They'll support you mainly, them thick and thin. A few of them would, but majority of them, they're going to move on and literally just go fucking unman, okay? And these other sets are going to say, oh, free so-and-so, they're going to literally move on and actually just go on and live their life. Or they'll just come by and just do some weird F shit that they mainly do, some weird fucks that they have, and get themselves caught up in some trouble and lately down the line, or get themselves hemmed up or dead based on what they're doing. Okay? You got so much opportunity literally right in front of you right now. So much options, so much help that you could take to try and get yourself out of this crazy lifestyle and get yourself something that literally gets your mind taken off, you know? Definitely education is like a huge one of them. Sports is also another one. We're able to literally build teamwork there. Analytics is another one. You can build also a form of teamwork as well. You have other opportunities that you literally deal with as well. I know I already spoke about the sports aspect. That's definitely there. But you have other mentors that literally got out, okay? That you literally try other hobbies that you can enjoy. Even if you play video games. Even if you play NBA 2K, okay? And not get caught up in this crazy stuff and actually get this crazy cycle of chaos. You know, at least you're trying to do something productive. That's all that outside that fucked up lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Why put yourself in that fucked up situation literally in the first place? Why? Well, getting yourself basically dictating the eyes of the state, basically giving your life away for the election, considering trying to go to life where you can risk literally giving your life away to the state if you get caught, and them literally trying to like belittle you and emasculate you however they see fit. Why? You know what I'm saying? Is this the life that you fucking want? Is this the life that you want to have mainly for the rest of your life? Yes, it's all good and it's fast money now. But y'all don't even see the long term of this chaos. Again, jail or death. And if your sentence is definitely not even life, that's going to be your opportunity to literally trying to form your life right now and get yourself out of hellhole by literally either getting yourself an education, whether it's like a associate's degree or even like something that's definitely like a trade. Either one. But please don't be partaking in that fuck shit they mainly going on, because those are only two outcomes. Jail or death. No more talk from me. My condolences deeply. My deep condolences mainly go out to the family of Julio Foolio during this chaotic time. Crazy, 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 crazy.